What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Grind Season 4, Episode 12. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And I am back. Last time, Mickey wanted to try something out new, and he was the only one on the show, and he did a great job.
Thank you, man.
I'm not going to lie. It kind of shocked me. You did great. So
thank you, Tyler.
He did good. What was kind of interesting about how he ran the show the last time was that he didn't really talk about the games that was the previous night. He talked about really the coaches, what to expect, the rumors, breaking news. That kind of interests me, and that's kind of something that I kind of want to bring on this show as well. I think your mix of the show onto this show was great.
Great.
So
awesome.
You did a good
Thank
job.
You, Tyler.
So we have quite to talk about today. We have the NBA, NHL, Super Bowl review, which kind of shocked me, and then we have MLB to talk about because pitchers and catchers return to spring training. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Bucks tackled the Bulls 112-110 in Chi-Town. Man of the game was Brook Lopez with 33 points and 2 assists with 7 rebounds. This kind of shocked me. Brook Lopez, out of anyone on the Bucks to actually be the man of the game. Antetokounmpo only had 2 points. He got a sprained wrist in the first quarter, and we're going to talk about that, but that was the reason why he only was able to score 2 points, because the moment they put him in that game, he got injured, and now he's on the bench. So Brook Lopez tore it up on the court. He's the guy to look at. Bucks record is 41-17. They're great. They kind of remind me of the Celtics right now. I mean, if you're going to look at two teams in the Eastern Conference, it's definitely the Celtics-Bucks. I think we see these guys these two teams play a lot, and it's a good game all around when we see them play. But yeah, Bucks are very neck and neck with the Celtics right now. As for the Bulls, they're not really a team to look at right now. They're 26-33. So with that being said, Antetokounmpo, we're going to talk about him now. He has a sprained wrist. He got it in the first quarter, and he was taken out of the game. He only had 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 2 points. So right now, because of his injury, his all-star status is unclear. So let's talk about this, though. I mean, what's your thoughts? Do you think they're going to put him in the all-star game, considering that he is a team captain for the Eastern Conference?
I think yes. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to attend the event, and he's had a phenomenal season. I mean, just look at the Bucks record. 41-17 record on the year. One of the best teams in the Eastern Conference so far. He's played like an MVP guy yet again. He's got to participate and represent the East in the All-Star game, right?
He's definitely going to be there, obviously, but we don't know if he's going to be on the court. And if he is, he might not be getting as much playing time as he expected. So Wizards stunned the Timberwolves 114-106. Timberwolves are second place in the Northern Conference. And as for the Wizards, they're third place in the Southeast Conference. I mean, when we look at the whole playoffs in NBA, I mean, not just the Eastern and Western Conference, but all together, it's very interesting right now. I mean, we have teams like the Timberwolves who did not do well at all last week and weeks before, and they finally are able to catch up. They were really bad seasons back. So seeing them play just as good as they did, I mean, you know, what's your thoughts on the Timberwolves?
Yeah, the Timberwolves have been actually not bad this year, even though Gobert has been kind of a disappointment. They've gotten some other production elsewhere. Anthony Edwards, their third-year player out of Georgia, has been really, really good for them. They also traded for Mike Conley out of Utah and traded away D'Angelo Russell. And Conley has been a better fit for this team. He's passing the ball more, getting Gobert more involved. They played together in Utah. Now they're back together in Minnesota. And Gobert's actually been playing better recently, even though Gobert's season has been pretty much a bad year, but he's been playing better with Conley, and I think Conley's going to help them with their offense, maintain their defense, and I think that the Timberwolves are going to be, an underrated team in the Western Conference.
It's just really weird how the playoffs are like coming about because it's like we have teams like the Kings that are in first place. Where did the Kings come from 2 seasons back, or even just last season? This is like their season. Warriors are like almost in last place at the Lakers, and they have like a full healthy lineup. So it's very weird how the playoffs are racking right now. So Wizards defense last night was really, I think, the reason why they won. I think the Wizards defense was probably the best they've ever played this second half of the season. So Wizards defense, keep an eye on them. Porzingis, they got a lot of star players on their team. Wizards they're not the best, but they're definitely not the worst. So.
Yeah, the Wizards have been a kind of weird team because they have some good players, and then they got some really, pieces that don't really fit. Let's go through some of the players on their team. They got Bradley Beal, who's their best player. Kristaps Porzingis, when he's healthy, is very good, but when he's not healthy, you can't help the team, right? You also got Kyle Kuzma, the former Laker, who's having one of his better years. But they also have some young players that haven't really developed quite how they liked, like Denny Avdia and Johnny Davis, and players like that haven't performed for them, so they need to kind of trade some pieces away, grab some pieces in, and see if they can compete. And if they can't compete, they gotta just start over because their team isn't really that young.
That win that the Wizards pulled off last night was crucial to have. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a crucial win for them, but they got to keep continuing it, and they don't, it's going to be trouble.
And they have a hard season, too. I mean, look who they're playing. I mean, they played the Warriors, I remember, this season a couple times. I mean, they're playing some hard teams right now, and it's hard to come by when you have players getting injured on the court. So Clippers owned the Suns 116-107. Devin Booker had 19 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds. Devin Booker is back. Now, when I saw him in Boston, he was not there. He was hurt. Paul was there. Ayton was there. And now Booker's back, and they recently picked up Durant. So the Suns are back to who they were 2 seasons back. So Suns, keep an eye out for them. It's just weird because now that how much they progressed this season, with they had a lot of ups and downs this season. I mean, Phoenix in the first half of the season, they were really bad, but I think this trade deadline really helped them out crucially, and we're going to be very surprised. And we're already surprised that they're going to make it to the playoffs potentially.
Yeah, Durant has been absolutely a huge acquisition for them, and adding that to Ayton, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker, look out, Western Conference. That team's going to come flying in.
But the Mavericks, too. I mean, the whole Southwest Conference is really looking interesting here because if you look at the Mavericks, I mean, we have Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving working together on the paint. So when we see the Mavericks and the Suns go at it again this season, this is going to be probably one of the greatest matchups this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Clippers' record is 33-28. The Suns' record is 32-28. So, like I said, the first half of the season, they had more losses than wins, and now it's the other way around, and the Suns having that second place spot in the Southwest Conference is crucial. So
definitely.
Key players for the Clippers right now is Leonard, Mann, and George. The Clippers are pretty good as well. I mean, considering that the Clippers are kind of underrated as they were last season and bringing it into this season with the same players and everything, I think their players are stepping up. The reason why we're seeing the Clippers in second place in the Pacific Conference is because of these 3 players not getting injured.
Yeah, definitely. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George staying on the court is crucial to their success. Remember when both of them teamed up 4 years ago now. It's been 4 years. It's crazy. They haven't really done anything because of COVID, injuries. Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL. They have not been on the court together at all, and it's been kind of a disappointment. But hold on. These 2 guys have been healthy this year, performing really well. They've also gotten other players that performed well, like Ivica Zubac, Terrence Mann, and there's also some rumors that they might go sign Russell Westbrook on their back end.
They're not. They're not. I'm going to stop you right there. They're not going to get him.
Ooh.
Westbrook said on Twitter that he doesn't want to perform in the same arena that they play as the Clippers, as the Lakers. Because think about it, the Clippers and Lakers, they both play at Clippers.com arena.
Yep.
They don't want to play on the same court. That's what I heard.
Where do you think Westbrook goes? Miami?
He's definitely not staying out west. He's definitely going to come to an eastern city.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you where Westbrook's going because I really don't know where. Miami, maybe, but Miami's going to lose a lot of players if they do that.
Right.
So can Phoenix top first in the Pacific Conference? What's your thoughts? Can they actually surpass the first place team?
If they're all healthy, yes. I think they can. Because we already went through their talent. They got a ton of talent on their team, and they can definitely push, at anyone in the Pacific Conference.
I think the Suns can definitely surpass the Clippers right now. It's neck and neck between LA and Phoenix right now. I think Suns are definitely going to surpass the second place spot. But
yeah, it depends if they're healthy.
The Kings are dangerous right now, so look out. So they're in first place, and they might have that first place spot for a while. NHL on the ice now from last night. Bruins destroyed the Predators 5-0. I mean, this is typical Boston Bruins right here. I mean, their hockey is phenomenal on the ice. Man of the game was Trent Frederick, as he had 5 shot on goals with 1 goal. What an aggressive player this guy is. I mean, this guy bringing the puck up the ice, being as good as he is, having 5 shot on goals. Trent Frederick is definitely underrated on the team. Keep an eye out for that guy. As for Juice Saros, he had 30 save attempts and 25 saves. He did really bad. I mean, considering that, he had 25 saves, it's pretty good, but he could not stop the Boston Bruins right there. I mean, they let 3 goals have done in the first period. The first period, the Predators gave up 3 goals. So I think the first period was the reason why the Predators really lost this game. I think if they were consistent throughout the 3 periods, they could have won, but they didn't. Now, the reason for the Predators' loss, I think first of all, the goalie was really bad. I think the defense was really bad, and offense. I think it was altogether, wild. I mean, they could not do anything. As for the Red Wings, they downed the Flames in Calgary 5-2. Devils took the L to the Blues 2-4. Jordan Kuro had 4 shot on goals with 1 goal. Another star player on the team. The Devils' record is 35-14. Blues' record is 26-25. So the Blues, they're consistent, but considering how good the Blues are these past couple years, this is like probably one of their worst seasons in a long time, and I don't think the Blues are going to go anywhere. As for the Devils, they're definitely looking for the playoff spot. The Blues are 3-0 with the Devils, so I guess that's one thing that they can show off against the Devils. As for the Kraken, they dominated the Flyers. Kraken is second place in the Pacific Conference. I think the Kraken are going all the way this year, as I said in the previous episodes. They're definitely going to do well. I think they are going to get their playoff spot. I just don't think they're going to surpass the Golden Knights, as the Golden Knights right now are first in the Pacific Conference. Flyers are 7th in the Metro Division. This is the one Philadelphia team that is not doing good. They had a good run at things in the first half of the season, but going into the second half of the season, the Flyers really got a lot of losses. The Kraken's record is 31-18. The Flyers is 22-24. So, Philadelphia fans, I think I would just be looking at your NFL and your MLB team, because those are the only teams that are actually going to championships and everything. So, can the Kraken surpass the Golden Knights? I don't think so. The Golden Knights have been awfully consistent. I mean, they're on a 3-game win streak right now, like always. I think the Golden Knights, they're going to stay in front. I definitely think it's going to be a battle, though. So, Golden Knights conquered their Sharks 2-1. The Golden Knights, what an easy game that was. The San Jose Sharks are not the greatest, as that's now going to push us over to MLB. Pitchers and catchers return to spring training. I am excited. Baseball is my favorite sport. I've been waiting ever since the World Series ended. And what's your thoughts on pitchers and catchers returning? What pitcher are you looking forward to seeing?
All right. So, as a Mets fan,
already know this one.
A Mets fan, I've already mentioned him. I think a couple months ago I mentioned him. On the Mets, they got a new Japanese pitcher named Kodai Senga, and I'm interested to see how he will be able to adapt to MLB with the balls and new pitching and kind of facing new hitters in a new environment that he's not used to. I'm really interested to see how that will go. Tyler, same question to you.
Oh,
Who are you interested in
you
seeing?
guess. You guess.
Clayton Kershaw?
Yes. Yes. Clayton Kershaw is finally back. I mean, I'm excited to see Kershaw pitch, but I hope he doesn't get injured as much as he did last season. I mean, last season he got injured a lot. I mean, obviously, how he pitches the ball and his mechanics is what gets him injured. I just hope I don't see a lot of injuries as I did last season with him.
Yeah, well, the Dodgers are going to have to rely on Kershaw because Walker Buehler is going to be out most of the year. So they're going to have to rely on him, Julio Urias. They have to rely on their new addition in Noah Syndergaard, Tony Gonsolin. And hey, in their bullpen, they got some guys like Alex Reyes and Phil Bickford and a bunch of guys like that. So they got to rely on their pitching staff.
Bullpen's not the greatest. Pitchers, they gotta step their game up. I think the teams to look at right now for pitching in the MLB is certainly the Mets. What other teams do you think?
I think another team to look out for is San Diego. I mean, San Diego added some nice pieces to their rotation. I mean, they already have guys like Yu Darvish and Blake Snell and Joe Musgrove, but they added a guy like Michael Wacha, who pitched for Boston last year, who is very solid for them on like a weird 4-year deal. So I think he's going to be help for them. And they also added Seth Lugo, who was a Mets bullpen guy. He's probably going to be the 5th starter in their Padres rotation.
And the Texas Rangers, they have your DeGrom.
Yes,
so
they're very interesting because they have a bunch of new additions.
I feel like the Rangers don't really have. I feel like their only good pitcher to really look out for is DeGrom. I mean, they don't really have a lot of star pitchers on their team.
He's their elite guy, right? But also
he's going to be first in the line.
They got some solid guys like John Gray, Martin Perez, Nathan Eovaldi. They got some guys to look out for.
I think they got a good bullpen and they have a good closer. So I think the Rangers are another team to look out for. The Rangers, really, we have not even heard about this team in a long time. So considering that DeGrom's on the Rangers and you got the Corey Seager's on the Rangers, I think, Rangers are finally going to be on the map this season.
Yep.
So we're not going to take over the NFL Super Bowl review. I've been saving this up to the last because I know this is going to be quite a talk right here because I have a lot to say about this. You have a lot to say about this. So let's get into it. Chiefs won the Super Bowl, defeating the Eagles 38-35.
Close one.
Before I start, what's your thoughts?
Well, the first thing I have to ask you is, what was your prediction? You weren't here for the predictions last week. What was your prediction
Mine
on the
was
Super Bowl?
Eagles. Mine was
Yours
Eagles.
was the Eagles too? Okay, so we were both the Eagles. So
I thought you said Chiefs.
no, I said Eagles.
Okay.
I said Eagles. Here's the reason why, I thought the Eagles. I thought that they were going to, have a better chance of running the ball and a better chance of, defending, Mahomes. And I thought they had a better defense. But here's what ended up happening. The Eagles got off to an early lead, and then the Chiefs came right back in the second half, and it was close. They ran the clock, and it was just tough for them.
I mean, Mahomes.
The Eagles should have won, in my opinion.
I agree, but Mahomes played through an ankle sprain.
Yeah, I know.
This guy played through injury.
Yep.
I mean, it just shows you, I guess, I don't like Mahomes, but it just shows you how good of a quarterback he is. I mean, all the QB sneaks he was doing as well, I mean, that's dedication as a quarterback right there, and that's determination to win a Super Bowl.
I also think this game showed a lot of Jalen Hurts. I mean, this guy...
He tried.
This guy wasn't even a bona fide starter coming into the year, and the guy went to the Super Bowl and played like a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, they should have won this game. He ran right into the end zone, got the 2-point conversion, ran into the end zone. He was magnificent in this game.
He had more touchdowns than the entire team that day.
He's great. I think this game showed a lot about the Eagles and their future, and also Jalen Hurts is legitimately a star quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I mean, he was the only guy to actually put the points on the board for the Eagles besides the kicker. I mean, the Eagles, I just feel like the offensive line really gave up a lot of points. I think the defense was there, but, Chiefs won. So.
And last thing, there was a lot of officiating buzz after this. Like, did they make the wrong call? Did they make the wrong call?
Chiefs versus refs. Eagles versus refs.
In my opinion, it didn't really matter at the end of the day.
They were bad calls, though. All right,
they were bad calls. They were bad calls.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. It wouldn't have mattered because if they called the call, they would have scored anyway because they were on one. The
No.
Chiefs. Really?
The Eagles' defense is so good. What if that was an interception? What if it was going to be a fumble? That was a holding call.
All right.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
That was a holding call.
I just think they overreact. I think that the fans overreact a little bit. I think that, I think there's a difference between
Or not a holding call, actually.
What?
It was actually not a holding call.
Yeah, they didn't call it. I mean, was it a hold? Was it not a hold? I don't really know.
Yeah.
What I do know is that the game was not really, I think the Chiefs would have won anyway. That's my opinion. I do think that the refs need to get better, though. They had
the Eagles have came back this regular season. The Eagles came back from a huge lead and won before. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles turned it over and got the ball back and scored.
Right, you're right.
But it was Eagles versus refs. I don't care.
All right.
MVP was Patrick Mahomes. He had 3 touchdowns, 182 yards. Mahomes, I mean, he was MVP. He doesn't, I don't like him, but he deserved MVP. I mean, playing through a ankle sprain. I mean, he had this injury even before the Super Bowl, didn't he? So playing through that, Eagles' record was 16-4. Chiefs' record is 17-3. It's kind of weird to realize that the Eagles were the farthest team to go undefeated, but had a worse record than the Chiefs. So I kind of found that very shocking. Could the Eagles have won? I think they should. I think they could have won.
I think they could have won it in other instances of the game. I don't think it was on the refs though. I think they could have won if they played better in the second half. Or the fourth quarter, because the third quarter they were keeping it close. Right. I just don't think the refs blew it for them. That's all I thought. I just think the refs really did. I don't think they did a good job on 2 calls. I think who knows? I mean, it's a Super Bowl. Those 2 calls could have been such a deficit to the Eagles or Chiefs, So, yeah, I mean, what can you expect? I mean, what's funny is Eagle fans before the Super Bowl, they were rioting the city. I know.
They were doing all this
climbing up skyscrapers and all that.
I don't know about that. That's a little, but falling through different buildings. It was just it was mayhem just to lose in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. I mean, that's kind of a lot. That's ironic. So
yeah.
But yeah, thoughts on the Super Bowl. I just feel like the Eagles could have won. It was really bad calling in the fourth quarter, and that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
They did win.
Next year, it's going to be very interesting to see, considering the trading on the offseason. I think the offseason is going to be quite interesting.
The next year, the Jets are going to win with Derek Carr on the top, and it's going to be cool.
People are saying Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers has more chance of being on the Jets than Derek Carr.
All right, we'll see.
But
we'll see.
So that's going to be very interesting. So that's going to wrap it up for the Sports Grind. Again, my name's Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perello.
Thank you guys for tuning into the Sports Grind, Season 4, Episode 12. And yeah, bye.